What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Obviously, we had some breaking news earlier today as Elgton Jenkins returned to training camp practice, actually met with the media in the Packers locker room, gave a few more details on the situation. You know, there's been a lot of I don't want to say rumors, but there's been reporting on, hey, there's a contract issues. There's been others mentioning, hey, there's a back injury. Now, Elgton has brought up some family stuff. So what we're going to do is just dive into all the details. Quick little video for you guys and gals. We're still going live tonight. So for PTA Live at 6:30 p.m. Central Time as of right now. Just want to bring you this information as it came in. So before we do that, if you would, do that YouTube stuff for us. Hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. We appreciate you making us a part of your afternoon, and hopefully you'll join us this evening for the live stream when we get the guys in here with us as well. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. What we are, we're fans just like you. We're Packer fans in here talking all the details of training camp, and as we get into the season, you'll be getting pregame shows, postgame shows, in-depth analysis. We'll be doing film breakdown. We'll give you all the contract updates, everything you need to know on a daily basis. So if you're looking for Packers content on the daily, just hit that like, hit subscribe. Make sure you click the bell icon so you get notified every time we do go live. Let's dive into it here. Elgton Jenkins returns for the first padded practice of training camp. Really excited to dive into the details this evening of that training camp practice because it sounds like it got really, really physical. I'm just trying to cipher through all the notes and figure out exactly what happened there. But as far as Elgton Jenkins, activation from the NFI list, Elgton Jenkins, the Green Bay Packers' versatile offensive lineman, has been activated from the non-football injury list, also known as the NFI, today after missing the first 4 days of training camp due to a back injury sustained while lifting weights early in the offseason. First time we've heard that, right? So Matt Schneidman had put a tweet out here, and this is a video. You can go check out his tweet. It's at Matt Schneidman over on X. I'm sure you guys and gals are following him. Elgton Jenkins said he, quote, for sure, end of quote, thought about financial implications of moving from left guard to center at one point, but isn't anymore. Focused on, quote, being able to perform for the team. I really, really highly recommend you go check out that video. It's just 53 seconds long. Really love where Elgton's at. And Jenkins said he missed OTAs because of a family matter, not because of his contract. Now, I want to mention this. In no way, shape, or form is this meant to try to drag anybody under the bus, okay? And we know that there was multiple people reporting that Elgton Jenkins wanted a little more guaranteed money. Both of these things can be true, right? So there's no reason to go pile on the beat reporters and be like, hey, you guys, you got it wrong, you got it wrong. No, it's obvious that he was early on, right, thought about the financial implications of moving from left guard to center. So who's to say that his agent didn't go to the Packers and go, hey, can we get a little bump on the guaranteed money? Because as you guys know, left guards in today's NFL is getting paid more than centers, and now he's transitioning to the center position, therefore lowering his value if he does hit the market in the next year or two, right? So I think both things can kind of be true in that regard. I see the chat filing in. Appreciate y'all jumping in here on this random show that we're just hitting on the breaking news here with Elgton Jenkins. You guys would hit that like button for us. We're definitely we're still going live tonight for sure at 6:30 p.m. Central. Just kind of breaking this Elgton news right now. So current participation. All right, he's participating in individual drills as he ramps back up, and his back reportedly feeling good now. So the injury's good. There's nothing to worry about there, right? The position transition. Jenkins is transitioning to the center position for the 2025 season, a move he actually proposed to the team last year to help field the best possible offensive line. I want to hit this tweet real quick, and I'm going to give you my take on that. I thought that was very, very interesting insight, right? Jenkins said he told the Packers last season that he eventually wanted to play center, his main position in college. Said he thought it would help the Packers get their best five out there. Said he took a little while to agree to switch after team asked him to in his exit meeting. So I want to pause there for a second. Not to pile on Josh Myers too much. All right. We all seen this last year. Matter of fact, we've seen it over I feel like the last 2 years is where I finally, and you can go back and watch the shows. This isn't no I told you so and revisionist history by no stretch of the imagination. Year one, Josh Myers at center. Hey, he's a rookie. He's going to take time. That's why we're a little hesitant on drafting a rookie center, even though it was a second-round pick, and just plugging and playing him right in. Wasn't impressed. Second year, still wasn't impressed, although there were some people that were like, hey, This dude's a good pass blocker, though. It's like, okay, that's great and all, but if he doesn't have the awareness, if he doesn't have the extra knowledge needed to play center, help set protections, and do things in the right manner, aka snap the effing ball, Josh, as you guys remember Aaron Rodgers saying there one season when he was still the quarterback. And then we see him when we do our chalk talk segments, when we break down the tape here on PTA, you could see him with the versatility, not versatility, but the athleticism to get to the second level on some of these duo runs, these double vertical power plays. And he would get to the second level and he'd just whiff, right? And after 2 years of that, that's when I was like, okay, year 3, I don't think Josh Myers is the guy. Well, we go through year 3, we bring him back year 4, still don't think Josh Myers is the guy. So it's kind of, you feel a little bit vindicated when you have that opinion, and then you see a former All-Pro offensive lineman basically point out that he wanted to go to the center position, as you can see in this tweet right here by Matt Schneidman. Jenkins said he told the Packers last season that he eventually wanted to play center, his main position in college, said he thought it would help the Packers get their best 5 out there. I guarantee you didn't go, hey, why don't we kick Josh Myers to guard and sit, whoever, Sean Ryan, whoever, and, put me at center. That way we can get our best 5 out there. He was talking about Myers, right? That's just my assessment of the situation. I love that he didn't mention him by name, and this is in no way, shape, or form meant to drag Myers. I just bring it up because there were a couple pretty notable guys on Twitter that love to break down the tape too, that were just talking about how Josh Myers is way better than fans think. Oh, no, he's a solid center, and trying to make fans look and sound absolutely stupid when we're watching the same tape going, Bub, I don't know what the hell you're watching. I just got to be honest. Like, I don't understand what you see here. So now you have the veil kind of lifted, and you see Elgton was going to the coaches like, hey, we need to get the best 5 out there. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. Now, contract and OTA clarification. He addressed recent reports of contract dissatisfaction or a potential holdout, clarifying that he missed OTAs for a family matter, not contract issues. And while he considered the financial implications of the position switch, his focus is now on the team. So it sounds like 2 stories got kind of melded together, and then it was either conveniently left off, or maybe, who knows, man, maybe just Elgton said, hey, I'm just going to throw this out there, that it was a family matter as well. Nonetheless, that was kind of how that unfolded, because it's easy to go, okay, yeah, he's at training camp, but he missed OTAs. Why did he miss OTAs? He's saying it was a family matter. He was missing training camp because of the back injury. So again, probably a little bit of truth to everybody's version of the story, I would imagine. Now, moving along, stinger injury details. Additionally, Jenkins shared details about a stinger injury from the playoffs against the Eagles, where his shoulder went numb after a hit and lingered into the offseason. So he kind of confirmed, you see the picture there. Remember, guys, when he went out of the lineup in that game against Philly, I remember making notes at the end of that game, like, one of our top needs has got to be offensive line. We've got to go out and do something to the offensive line, because we're one injury away from this whole thing falling apart, which it kind of did in Philly, therefore the playoff game. So that was the stinger issue that we had talked about before. Overall impact, his return is seen as a positive development for the Packers offensive line as they continue training camp under hot conditions in Green Bay. As you guys know, another scorcher out there today. We had Tim, boots on the ground. He'll be in the show tonight to give us everything that he took away from training camp. But I just want to point out the contract here, because the reason that Elgton, if he did indeed go to them and say, hey, can I get a little bump on the guaranteed money? Here's why, guys. And I know most people that watch the channel on a regular basis, you guys understand this. We've talked about it, just in case there's somebody new here, okay? So with that being said, you notice in 2025, his base salary is $11.7 million. The sign-in bonus proration is $4.8 million. You got a roster bonus of $600K. You got a workout bonus of $500K, right? His cap hit is what you want to key in. I always tell people, if you want to try to understand the salary cap, and listen, I am no guru, nor do I claim to be one on Twitter, okay? We got plenty of those guys out there. What I simply tell people to focus on is understand the base salary, understand the cap hit, and understand the dead cap. That's going to give you a good chunk of the information you need to determine or help you understand why a team moves on from a player, why a team restructures his deal and they convert base salary to signing bonus, and how they can maneuver that money around and cash over cap, all those things that we talk about. But here's what I wanted to point out with Elgton. The cap hit this year is $17.6 million. The dead cap's only $9.6 million, okay? So he's on the roster this year at $17.6 million. unless something happened behind the scenes with the contract we don't know about. Based off of the conversation they had with Elgton at his locker, I highly I don't know. I believe that there's way less of a chance that a contract restructure happened behind the scenes, and we're going to hear about it later, seeing how Elgton answered the questions. But nonetheless, what this means is you could cut Elgton today, right? And you could free up roughly $8 million in cap space. Well, it's not worth it to do that, right? You want your former all-pro guard who's going to be anchoring your offensive line at center now. And I think that's going to take a lot off of Jordan Love's plate. I really, really do. But next year, look at the numbers, guys. Cap hit next year, $24.8 million against the cap. But look at the dead cap, $4.8 million. What that means is if they decide to move on from Elgton after this year, they will free up $20 million in cap space. Again, barring any contract restructure that's taken place behind the scenes that hasn't been reported. So this is what Elgton was talking about. He could see the writing on the wall, kind of like with Ja this year, right? The majority of the guaranteed money was gone. You're going to absorb a little bit of a dead cap penalty, but it's not worth it to absorb the entire cap. Now, I'm not saying Elgton isn't worth 24.8. If he goes out this year, balls out, has an all-pro year, they may look at extending him for 2 or 3 years because sometimes centers can play a little longer than other offensive line positions. I'm just saying, throwing that out there. But the writing's kind of on the wall, and he sees it. He sees that this might be my last year in Green Bay. Well, what if he goes out this year and he doesn't try to push for a contract, right? And he gets hurt. Well, they can just cut bait next year and move on, right? And they're going to free up $20 million in cap space. Now, what happens to Elgton? Elgton is now 31 years old. He's coming off an injury. This is just theoretically speaking. He's not hurt, guys. Somebody's going to clip that and go, oh, crap, Elton's hurt. He's not hurt. We're good. The back's good. I'm saying if he were to get hurt this year, this is why you would think about guaranteed money, because they would just cut bait. Now, he's 31 years old. He's injured, and he just took a pay cut for his next contract because centers make less than guards. So you can kind of see where he'd be coming from going to the organization early, if indeed he did. And I'm going to continue to say if because nobody truly knows. So that's what we're talking about. Now, let's say he goes and balls out, has an all-pro year, right? I mean, just absolutely dominant. You're probably thinking, Clayton, that's a big cap hit there, man, $24.8 million. Here's what they can do. You see the 18.5 base salary? Take that, take a portion of that, convert it to signing bonus, write him a check, tack on 2 voidable years, and spread out that signing bonus money over those 2 voidable years, and you can reduce that cap. You could probably get it down lower than the 17.6 if indeed you want to keep him. To me, it kind of feels like it's now turned into a 1-year deal. It's let's see how it goes this year, then we'll talk about next year. That's what Elgton was trying to avoid, and rightfully so, man. Completely understands. So, all right, now just take a quick look at the offensive line as PFF has it projected. Again, this isn't the tell-all be-all here, but Rasheed Walker, left tackle, Aaron Banks, left guard, Elgton Jenkins at center. Does anybody else look at Elgton Jenkins at center and think, boy, that looks a lot better than that 50 burger that our boy Josh Myers put up last year, right? And just if anyone thinks that we're being too hard on Myers and maybe the Packers got it wrong, it's my understanding he's now a backup center in New York. I know they paid him backup center money, like to the tune of less than $2 million, I believe. But Jordan Morgan is listed here as a starting right guard, although people on Twitter that are close to the team and report on the team and beat writers and everything, I'm seeing more and more of Sean Ryan being the starting right guard as opposed to Jordan Morgan. And I know that upsets some people. They're going to look at that and go, man, he's a first-round pick and needs to be starting. I agree. I want him to start too. If Sean Ryan's a better football player, though, I'm okay with Jordan Morgan riding the pine. Get the best 5 out there. It's exactly what Elgton was talking about last year. And then, of course, Zach Tom, steady Eddie, 85.8 PFF grade last year, is absolutely dominant. Got the new contract. Now, he is secure in his future. Don't be surprised if you don't see Zach Tom turning up a notch because he's got some, $30 million in guaranteed money. He's feeling a little more secure. You don't have to go out there and play it safe. Not that he did last year. He played through an injury anyway. I'm just so glad Zach Tom is on this team. But really what it feels like, guys, is you got a solid left tackle, at least for 1 more year in Rasheed Walker. You just signed and spent significant money on Aaron Banks at left guard. You got Elgton Jenkins now anchoring the center position. You got Zach Tom, who's just dominant at the right tackle spot. And it's either going to be Jordan Morgan or Sean Ryan at right guard. And here's what happens. Let's say Sean Ryan wins the right guard spot. Now what you've got is Jordan Morgan, a former first-round pick, as a backup at guard. Oh, by the way, you spent a second-round pick on Anthony Belton, who can help kind of solidify the backup role on the offensive line, whether they want to play him at guard or tackle. What we talked about in Philadelphia last year with the Eagles' loss and that note that we made after the game, like, boy, we got to do something with this offensive line. We need depth. You now have depth on the offensive line. Free agent signing Aaron Banks, second-round pick in Anthony Belton. Jordan Morgan's now healthy, which you notice that 59.2 doesn't show a ranking because it was insignificant snaps. So there's still a chance he's an absolute dog. Sean Ryan could be the backup guard. It looks like he's the number 2 center, so he's the backup center. A guy who started for you at guard last year is now your backup center. This offensive line is looking a lot better. So really, really excited to see what they do as the season moves along. So again, just want to give you guys a quick update. That's the news on Elgton Jenkins, ready to turn the page, obviously, on that whole ordeal there. And he seems like he's in a good place, and he's just going to be a pro, and I love it, man. Elgton has been a pro's pro since he got to the Green Bay Packers, and I'm really excited to see him go back to his natural position where he was a really, really good center. I believe it was at Mississippi State in college. He was pretty darn dominant at the college level playing center in the SEC. Nonetheless, to one of the stronger conferences. So that being said, guys, that's it. If you would, please do me a big favor. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe if you're new here. We'll be going live again tonight at 6:30 p.m. Central Time to talk everything that happened in the first padded practice for training camp. Oh, by the way, things got physical. Nate Hobbs shook some things up. Zach Tom got a little pissed. We had a couple guys have to go to the sideline. It's officially football season because the pads are popping. We'll see you guys shortly. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for jumping in here on such short notice. And as 2-0 for this says, this show didn't have enough sucks. Sorry, man. We'll try again later. Appreciate y'all. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.
Here we go.
We're out.
Bye, guys.